So good morning, everyone. My name is Moise. I am the City Council of Toronto Centre, Ward 13, here in Toronto Centre right now. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the land we are on is the traditional territories of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. As a Caribbean Canadian, I am committed to continually acting in solidarity with our African, Caribbean, and Black communities, seeking freedom and reproductive justice in light of the history and ongoing legacy of slavery that continues to impact our communities across Canada. As part of this commitment, I would also like to acknowledge that not all people came to these lands as migrants and settlers. Specifically, I wish to acknowledge those of us who came here involuntarily, particularly those brought to these lands as a result of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery. In support of the City of Toronto's ongoing efforts to fight anti-Black racism, I pay tribute to those ancestors of African, Caribbean, and Black origin and descent. So thank you for joining us this morning as we announce a significant step forward, ensuring the safety and well-being of our tenants across Toronto. I welcome you all to the heart of St. Jamestown, one of the most densely populated and diverse neighborhoods in Canada. Today, Councilor Matlow and I, along with our partners from Acorn, Toronto, Federation of Metro Tenants Association, and tenants from here, right here in St. Jamestown, are reviving our call for the rent-safe tier apartment rating system, which will implement color-coded signage similar to our successful Dine-Safe program. This initiative aims to enhance transparency, accountability, and ultimately the quality of rental housing in our city here in Toronto. Finding a safe and suitable place to live is a fundamental right for all residents. Unfortunately, not all apartment buildings in our city meet the basic standards that we expect and deserve, which is why we are going to bring a members' motion to the July City Council meeting to strengthen the Rent Safe Tier program by introducing color-coded signage. Over 75% of residents in my ward are renters. And during the last election, I heard from many tenants that they want better living conditions, more urgency for repairs and maintenance, and greater transparency and accountability. Back in 2020, city staff conducted a citywide survey which had over 2,000 respondents, which revealed that 81% of respondents support the introduction of a color-coded rating system for apartments. Furthermore, 85% of respondents agreed that clear signage should be displayed at building entrances. This overwhelming support demonstrates the clear demand that we are committed to addressing. In particular, St. Jamestown had the highest number of respondents, highlighting a community that is eager for improving living conditions. I think we need to be clear up front that this initiative is not about stigmatization. Rather, it's about empowering tenants with the information they need about where they live. It is essential that we create an environment where landlords and property managers are motivated to maintain their properties at a high standard. As chair of the Board of Health, I have witnessed firsthand how the Dine-Safe program has built trust and had a positive impact on food establishments across the city of Toronto. When restaurants receive a yellow poster accompanied by orders to comply, their owners and managers are highly motivated to resolve any outstanding issues and earn that green poster back. I firmly believe that the same principle will apply to our landlords and their management companies. The proposed color-coded signage will create a layer of transparency and accountability that currently does not exist for tenants and the general public. By fostering a culture of accountability, we can encourage property owners to prioritize the safety and well-being of their tenants, ultimately benefiting our entire community. Today, I urge everyone listening to join us in pushing for this change at City Council. Please visit either of our websites, chrismoise.ca/rentsafe or joshmatlow.ca/rentsafe, to send a letter to the mayor and your city council, letting them know that you are in support of color-coded signage and a clear rating system for the Rent Safe to You program. Your voice matters, and your support will help propel this initiative forward. I'd like to thank my colleague, Councilor Matlow, for his leadership on this since before I was even elected, and to Acorn, FMTA, and others for partnering with us to make this happen. We must work together to ensure that every Torontonian has access to clean, safe, and healthy apartments. And now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Councilor Matlow.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Councilor Moise, for inviting us to hold this event here in the heart of St. Jamestown, where so many tenants are affected by some of Toronto's worst landlords, like we see across our city. And I was very proud in 2017 to help introduce Rent Safe. It was inspired by the city's Dine Safe program. We believed that if Torontonians should know if they're safe and healthy in our restaurants, they should know if they're renting that they're safe and healthy in their own homes. And while I'm proud of the work we did, I think it's really important to also recognize when we can do better, when something that we want to improve on is not being as effective as it should be. And in 2020, we brought forward a component of Rent Safe, which was the color-coded signs. It didn't pass council under Mayor John Tory. But I believe this month we can finally get them approved due to the support of tenants and their supporters and allies and friends and family across the city. Working with Acorn, FMTA, the York South-Weston Tenants Association, yes, tenants here in St. Jamestown and across the city, we're asking the Mayor and Council to support this initiative so we can provide accountability for every tenant that's affected by the city's worst landlords. So this is how it works. If you are a landlord and you are respecting your tenants, you are fulfilling your obligation to provide a healthy and safe home, you're going to get a green sign that you can be proud of and you can tell the world about. It'll literally be in the shop window. If there's work that you need to do to address violations, to improve on the building, you get a yellow sign as we work with you to get to compliance. But if you're irresponsible, if you're neglectful, if you see your tenants only as a source of revenue rather than people who have a home in your building, then yes, we're going to put a red sign right in your window. It's not about stigmatizing tenants. Tenants always tell us that the shame that they feel is the deplorable conditions of their building. In fact, they want to be validated. They want the city to show them that we see what's going on and we're ready to take action. But it's about holding the landlord to account, but it's also to hold us to account. If a red sign is sitting in that window for far too long, then we need to ask ourselves, why are we not forcing the landlord into compliance, taking action along with remedial action to just go in there, get things fixed, and then charge the landlord afterward. The system that we use today also needs to be improved, and this is why the color-coded signs are so critical to even understand what needs to be fixed, where there are pests that need to be getting rid of, where there are real violations that need to be addressed, where health and safety is a concern. Right now there's a percentage system where, imagine if you were in school and you got a whole bunch of good grades on the mere fact that your pencil was working or your computer was functioning, and then you're graded on the rest of the test, you'd always pass by 70 or 80%. That's what's happening with Rent Safe today. We want to turn the whole system upside down and make it work. What we want to do is make sure that the focus, the entire focus, is on whether or not the landlord is actually dealing with pests, is actually ensuring that there's drinking water, that there's heat, that there is a functioning, healthy, safe place for people to live. And again, if they do their job, if they fulfill their responsibility, then they'll get a passing grade. We want every landlord to get a green sign. But if a landlord is neglectful, uncaring, and unwilling to do their part to make sure that their tenants are healthy and safe, then yes, we're going to put a sign in your window and make sure that everyone knows, including prospective tenants who may choose to move to your building, and literally have a warning sign in the window. So I'm going to pass it on to a couple of our partners. I'm going to begin with Acorn, who's been advocating for this for many years. Acorn.
Thank you very much. Acorn's very happy with this possible proposal of implementing signage. Thank you, Councilors Matlow and Councilor Moise, for supporting this project. It's been a very long journey, with us starting this crusade since 2004. This is a start, with the color-coded signage being a financial deterrent, showcasing bad faith landlords. However, this is only one step of many to improve the conditions of homes to ensure everyone lives in healthy and safe homes. There needs to be teeth in the Rent Safe TO program through standardized compliance, ensuring transparent timelines for remedial action, fines, penalties, tickets, and orders to comply. There must be remedial action where the city steps in and does the outstanding repairs on the property taxes of the landlord, which is already a property standards bylaw that has only been exercised a handful of times. With the signage comes concerns on the evaluation scores Rent Safe TO provides landlords. As we've seen too many times, buildings pass to only have a roof collapse, just like across the street here at 70 Howard last year during a rainfall, and it had a pass of 86%. And then the mayor recently visited 11 Bergamot and was shocked with the mold and disrepair of even the common areas, herself saying, "This doesn't look like a 90% building to me." We would like to see more progress and quality workmanship within Rent Safe TO in addressing work orders and tenants' in-unit issues with stronger remedial action taken by the city to ensure the landlord is in compliance. Thank you again for your support, and we look forward to working with you further.
Thank you very much for your advocacy, and I'd like to invite the Federation of Metro Tenants Associations.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Yaroslava Montenegro, and I am the Executive Director of the FMTA, the Federation of Metro Toronto Tenants Associations. I'm really proud to stand here today with my fellow tenant organizers and tenant advocates, to stand behind them with the much needed and delayed Rent Safe TO sign program. For years, we at the FMTA have seen tenants face huge challenges with maintenance, safety, and landlord accountability. Since the launch in 2017, the Rent Safe TO program has been a much needed mechanism to make sure that tenants have a greater access to justice and hold their landlords accountable for their actions. But there is still much work to be done. Every year to this day, over 50% of our calls to the FMTA hotline consist of outstanding, egregious maintenance issues that risk people's health and safety in their own homes. We have tenants calling us about basement apartments flooding, mold, roach and rat infestations, crumbling concrete, all while tenants are being hit with not just one, but two, if not 3 or 4 above guideline increases at a time, thanks to Doug Ford's conservative provincial government. We have the example of 1501 Woodbine and Brad Bradford's ward. It's one of those buildings currently facing that reality. And sadly, it seems that he may not support this initiative moving forward. On June 20th, 2024, 1501 Woodbine failed the Rent Safe program, which triggered a building-wide audit. Pieces of concrete have been falling from the building steadily for about over a year, but unfortunately the city didn't get to that building until 10 months later, into April 2025, to be able to complete that building audit. So with that said, this is why it's not only important to have this enforcement of the rent safe TO program, so we can have real teeth and accountability for landlords, but we as tenants also need to be at the table, for example, in a renters action committee with the city, so we can push for more policies that push for tenant rights and protections. As tenant organizers, the rent safe TO sign program posted in every building in every neighborhood can help us organize to not only keep our landlords accountable, but also make sure that the managers at the city level do their job and enforce the program. And we are so grateful to the organizers here today and to city councilors like Josh Matlow who are trying to make that happen. And I want to end by saying that as I come from the labor movement, and in the labor movement we have a saying that is a message to the boss to make sure that they keep up their health and safety obligations and make sure that no worker goes home injured or is killed on the job. We say, kill a worker, go to jail. If we can expect and demand health and safety enforcement for our food services and our workplaces, then we must demand it in our living spaces as well, because all tenants across this city deserve to live in health and safety for the rights and dignity of all people across the city. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.